Hey everyone. I'm going into my inbox and it looks like my teacher has sent me Our Words Our Way poem. So I'm opening it up and I'm looking at it and I'm reading it and it's another terrible poem. And the kids are not going to understand what the heck is going on because it makes no sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to use Scratch to make this poem a little bit more easy to understand for the kids by making a little cartoon. So I'm going to come over to Scratch, and I've already got the cartoon started a little bit. When you start, this green flag means go, start the program. We have the bug coming into the um, room, and there's his nut in the sun. And I want the kids to be able to slowly, one step at a time, see the words of the poem come up down here, and I want to have the poem itself read out loud. So what I'm going to do is I have the entire poem broken down into chunks here, and this is what's called the costumes of this sprite. And then I have all the words from the poem as sound files that I've recorded. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and create a script that will have this sprite reveal itself one word at a time, and each time it reveals a word, it's going to create a sound. So the program I've already had is when the program starts, the green flag is clicked, hide. I don't want to see the poem at all. I'm going to change that to when, wait, events. So everything's broken up into different types of actions. You have motions, looks, changing how the sprites appear on the screen, the sounds that you make, sensing has a whole bunch of different things like when the key is pressed, operators. This is where you do a lot of your really deep programming. If it equals, greater than, add, minus, join things together. But we're not doing anything that complicated here. We're just going into looks and sound to just have the costumes change, which is going to reveal a letter at a time, and then play a different sound. And we're going to organize that with the events and the controls. So what I'm going to do, the event that I want to have trigger the poem start to be read, is that when the space key is pressed. Every time you hit the space key, it's going to advance the poem one step at a time, and it's going to read the poem out loud. So right now it's still hidden, but I want to switch to costume 8. And so all costumes and everything are under the purple looks bar. So I have it out right now just to make this easier. And I'm going to put switch to costume 8, then show. And costume 8 is just the name of the costume that I made. They kind of go in backwards order from costume 8 to costume 7 to costume 6. If I was spending more time on this, I'd rename each of those so that I would know where they're supposed to be. That's just how it came out. So I say, when the space key is pressed, switch costume to costume 8, and then show, which is basically the opposite of hide. Reveal it. Then play sound A. See, I've done a little bit better job here. The sounds are labeled each of the words, and I just do that up here. So I know exactly what sound it will play. And now the one thing I found is that when I put everything together the first time, if I hit space key, it would do everything I wanted the space key to do. And, so it would just come up with this really crazy poem that all spoke at the same time. So I'm actually going to tell it to wait. Don't do anything right away. And about 0.5 seconds will stop it from just going so fast that it plays all the sounds at once. It's going to wait, and that will give us some time to come back in and play it. So I'm going to start the animation again.